Welcome back. After looking at all this stuff, I thought I'd go ahead and do the landing gear bending to see if we can get away with that. On the last reel, got so many lights and things in here, I'm bumping into stuff. On the last reel, I had added some detail. It's got the motor in it, so it's quite heavy. Motor and the battery. Oh, I put a big dent in it. I'm going to have to be more careful. Can't have that, so I'm going to get the razor blade here. Yeah, have to be more careful. I'll just take a little bit of my spot putty that I've shown that I've used. I'm gonna have to order some more of that. And unfortunately, hanger rash happens before the airplane's even finished. But it's better that it happens now than after it's finished. Let's just break it down to you and me uptown, dancing all around. Let's see if we got any more spots. But I have to be me, and everyone can see the ringer is misplaced. I don't feel any. Okay, so I'll give a slight recap of what I did. I had added the doors, cooler vents or what have you, and the turbocharger exhaust, and a cooler back there, and the doors for the tail wheel. So now we're on to making landing gear for it. Now these I thought were complicated, a complex bend. But they're just simply, a normal U-shaped landing gear, so it's not a big deal. But I had already measured them. But now I can find a wire. I know I have 1/8" wire here somewhere. It's down, way down there. That's one piece. That's 5/64. We don't want to use that big a wire. Maybe that's 1/8". Yeah, there's 1/8". Okay, I have 2 pieces of music wire. Now, because this Thunderbolt is not the same as my original 3. These are closer to the Model Aviation plan Thunderbolt. We can work off the Model Aviation plan. Of course, these numbers on this airplane, less the nose moment, are the same as Billy's. The nose moment on this airplane has been lengthened 1 inch because it's electric. Check. This is unbelievable. Ah, here we go. It's on the floor. Sorry, folks. Finally found a felt tip pen. What I do is, as I showed, I make the first bend that goes into the block. I want it to come all the way to the edge so that there's not a big gap. Make a mark. We're going to then bend this in the opposite direction. We'll worry about the angle after the gear is bent in its correct proportion. Now the thing about bending wire is it's a thing called bend allowance. If you look online, you can find the proportions for bend allowance. And I can't remember the formula, but I just know that it's there. Now if you'll notice here, I have my mark right where the bend is. I learned this bend allowance in the Navy, and it's kind of important. It's not quite as long as I would have liked, but it's the way it goes. So now I've already measured the plans to know that it was 5. These are 5.5 inches. So we're going to bend that. I'm going to mark it. Right there. Now this particular one, the landing gear tucks up inside, so we want it to go in the same direction as the first leg. So we're going to I think 5.5 is going to be too tall. I don't want it that tall. I'm going to make it 5 inches, cut a 1/2 inch off. Not only that, it cuts off a 1/2 inch of wire. So keeping it level, we will just bend her around there. Complex wire jobs are the same. I usually take a coat hanger and bend up the coat hanger first. See, my mark is right on the edge of that bend, on the outside of that bend. Make sure that they're parallel here. I want to make sure all the bends are 90 degrees. You don't want to go back and forth. If you go back and forth, you do a thing called work hardening. So it's better to creep up on 90 degrees. So now, like I said, I have these high-dollar Nip-X pliers. And we're going to leave plenty wire on the gear itself for the wheel mount. 2 reasons. I don't know what wheels I'm going to use and what collars I'm going to use. But you can always cut it off, but you can't add it. be getting weak. Alright. We have one wire bent. And that's basically how easy it is to make up landing gear. We'll do it one more time. You know, I see a lot of people struggle bending wire, and I used to struggle bending wire in the vise and bending wire with pliers. 1/8" piano wire is some pretty tough stuff. So it was worth the $20 or whatever. I think it was $20, $19 for this K&S bender that I spent. I think. You know. So you want to make the first bend 90. That's the bend that's going to go into the block. Let's see if we got what we got going on over here. Let's take this other side off. Try this one over here, make sure it's the same size. Could be a little longer, that's fine. So, once again, the pen, put it in the hole. Remember, we want to leave a little bit of area there, so make a mark. Now, matching the other gear is a little bit more difficult. So we got to go the opposite way. It's a little bit more difficult than making the first one, but it's not bad. It's not real hard at all. And I'll show you how I do that. Pretty good. Let's double check here. Took a little bit of doing there. I think Brodak, the guy at Brodak, is probably the best landing gear bender I've seen. I guess he's probably bent thousands for them kits, but you really got it down to a science. Okay, now if we can get the other bend on there. right this time. I don't have any more wire. And there you have it. They're exactly the same. Wait, what a deal. Okay. So after much rigmarole, finally got two that are the same. All right. Now it's just a matter of tweaking them to make sure that they're running straight, so on and so forth. Looks pretty good. Now what I normally do is I set it on the ground and make sure that it's right, because, you know, it's best to check things now than later. And then we're going to cut the holes for the wire to come out in the doors.